But yeah, it's like it had a lot of things that I liked, but near the ending, I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of falling out of it.
Okay.
I will probably bring it up one day, but with someone else who wants to like talk about it, so it's not like he said kind of thing, where it's like you have one person just kind of not digging it and another person is digging it. I wouldn't mind being outnumbered. Really, Terror in Resonance was one that I didn't like when I first saw it, but then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, you know what? Actually, that was pretty good.
Oh, I love that show.
It was a fucking bummer, though.
It is.
It's a bummer.
Tragic ending too, but at least it was a fresh breath of air, especially since it was an original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like 2014, 2015, and it was just like it came out in the time when like everyone was trying to be Attack on Titan, so you got like a lot of horror action anime, and then this was just like these are. I love phrasing it this way. This is basically if the two kids from L's Academy and Death Note escaped the academy and decided to become terrorists.
Yep. That's legit how it was, man. And for me, I really like the Terror in Residence guys, just because again, like that inspired a lot of good cosplays. Just because again, all they needed was just like the masks and just the casual clothing, and a lot of people were just chill. It's like, hey, it's you too.
Oh my god, I've seen those guys at AX's before. But what about you? Before we kick it off, how have you been?
Tired.
Paralyzed. Like that line in Secret Life of Pets. Oh, have you been paralyzed?
Oh my.
Tired.
Dude, because I started I finally started visiting my high schools again for counseling. It's like, which is why hence the stress eating.
This bag was actually originally up to here.
I did. I had about a pound's worth of candy in there.
Yeah, but isn't a pound like this big?
Oh, well, not when we have it mostly with eggs.
Oh, okay. So fuck. That must have been. That's not too bad. $7.99. The $7.99 is like this much at Lolly and Pops. I know. No, I know. God damn it. It's in Glendale. You've gone to it before, I think.
I hope I was unconscious at the time.
I don't want any evidence that I was actually there. So
at least consciously.
Yeah, so what are you're doing counseling at your high school, or you are getting counseling?
No, I give counseling to high school students.
Oh.
So my schools this semester are pretty much at downtown LA and Poly. Mm-hmm. Poly's not that bad. It's farther, but it takes me less time to get to Poly than at downtown LA just because downtown LA is a maelstrom of traffic.
Oh. Are you just like bittered grizzled man where it's just like they're telling you that this is where your future begins, but this is where it really falls apart?
No, dude, that's how it feels kind of in LA because like I was talking to it about with one of my directors, and I was like, yeah, it's like I feel like that one guy from the movie where he has to teach a class full of Latino kids. And like that took place in Garfield, and he was like, every time like he goes outside, he's like, how do I reach these kids?
Stand and deliver.
There you go.
Yeah, how do I? I love it. What is that? I love when they were making fun of it in
South Park.
Yeah, in South Park.
Oh, when he did the parents like, how do I reach these kids?
And how he actually like yells at one like that, where it's like, hey, fuck you, man. How do I reach these kids? But what else? Sorry.
Because I literally, this semester, I got to teach a bunch of people who are like doing, who are pretty much picking up English as a second language. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Because it's kind of like, this is literally like, these people are pretty much like the other extreme of where I could have ended up in.
Oh, like what?
Because like, nobody cares in that class about school.
Oh.
Nobody cares about that in school. And then like one of the teachers approach and be like, oh, here, let me take you to the A+ students. And then be like, why? It's like, they already know what they're doing.
Yeah. You need to, you're like, I don't want to talk to the people who already know what they want to do. I want to talk about the people who are like literally shooting up the classroom. Okay, not in that sense. Okay, ignore the shooting up the classroom and just go with bringing the Rottweilers to class.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I want to be in the kids who are hopeless. That's why I'm here, right?
Oh, dude, because every time I talk to the A+ students, they're like, everybody's literally just nervous about barely getting into a CSU. And I'm like, bro, you got like a 4.0 and something shit, man. It's like, you're literally a lot better than where I was in high school.
I spent 3 years at a community college, you privileged dick.
And then once, and it's funny because like once I tell people about financial aid, they're like, that exists. And I'm like, bro, that was me in high school as well. What do you think I went to community college?
You think they just give you money if you go to school?
Yeah.
And you don't even have to use all the money for school?
Oh, no, sadly, I don't get enough financial aid now.
Oh, man, I never got a lot. Maybe like only one time I only used like 500 out of the 2,000 they gave me. But a lot of it, you know, I've told you, I've gotten like 300 to 600 every now and then. So it would always go down like that. But man, there was this girl that I used to be friends with at GCC. She's like, oh yeah, I got like 4,000 and I only need like 300 of it. I'm like, I need whatever the fuck you have that's giving you all of that. Like, Jesus Christ. Only using, like she was only taking one class, but still, they gave her like 4,000. I'm like, why? Why? I'm taking 3 classes and you fuckers only gave me 600.
Oh, dude. I'm taking part-time right now as well at CSUN.
Yeah.
Just because most of my classes are in the spring that I need to graduate.
Yeah. And that's the thing, someone was saying, well, maybe she was, full-time, and I'm like, no, you take one class, you need 12 credits to be considered a full-time.
Mm-hmm. And you need 6 credits at least to be considered part-time.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's school.
What? Yep, that's school in a nutshell, y'all. So, hey, for all of you going to school, remember, financial aid makes a difference for you between debt and gratitude.
And if you're lucky and don't buy the... Here's some help from... a guy who's currently in university, and then a guy who recently dropped out but is gonna apply to a Caltech, a Cherry Tech. There you go. So we'll see how that goes.
Don't mind my stress eating.
We'll talk about something to ease you off. But yeah, always look, if you get financial aid and it's a hefty amount of financial aid, always go to Amazon for either go to the bookstore for used books.
Yes.
Or go to Amazon for used books, and they will be super cheap.
Dude, I just asked Nestor to look for torrented books for me.
Oh yeah, that's another. Well, I can't really condone that, but do what you got to do. Also, and I'm gonna say this right now, they're gonna talk you into thinking it's a deal. Stay away from the people who are selling books out of their bags, because they are going to charge you cheaper than what is that? Oh no!
In case we need to erase our memories.
Why? What is this? Buzzball. Mixed drinks.
It's literally what I gave Ben at San Jose. It's a Midori sour mixed drink. You just shake it and it mixes both of them together.
Hey. Here you go.
I just brought it out in case I needed to stay up. In case I need to forget about this week.
Oh God! Why? Was that all you did this week, or what else is going on?
Nah, because I'm getting married.
What? Really?
No, metaphorically not me, but my genetic counterpart is.
What genetic counterpart?
My dad.
Your dad's getting married?
By the church. Because they're my parents are civil marriage, but they want to get married by the church.
Oh, okay. So they will literally be from death to us part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's cool. You scared the fuck out of me. Did you really have to phrase it like that?
Yes, that's what I told my friends. To see their reactions.
Do you realize how bad married couples are for podcasts if that said married spouse is not into what you're doing? I already have a hard time getting other shows out on this thing.
Hey, Danny, if you know anything, if I do find the one, she's most likely gonna be a weeb.
I know.
So you don't have to worry about that. Just know that I'm probably not gonna be watching as much ecchi shows, or I'll probably end up watching a shit ton. It could be either or.
You want to know something funny? So in the news of what happened while we were gone for almost a month, we went to Crunchyroll Expo, but one of the things and I'm bringing this up because I am a single male, I was. Yeah. As everyone knows, in August 1st, Joey posted an interview with an ex-porn star, Shibuya Kaho.
Oh, I love her.
And she is so fucking adorable, among other reasons. But it's funny because I'm out of sheer curiosity, and I wanted to look at one of her videos. Literally, some of the first comments on Pornhub were, "Here because of the anime, man." like any, like mostly just try to go to Pornhub because the comments are more active in that. And yeah, it's flat out people like, yeah, I'm here from the anime, man. Thank you, Joey. She's delightful.
You know, it's sad because when I go, because my specialty is MILFs.
Yeah.
Because I blame JoJo for that. I blame especially Kakyoin.
Lisa.
Yes.
And Kakyoin, yeah.
With this freaking MILFs and everything, the MILF hunter.
Yeah. But that's what people dubbed him as. He had a deep respect because he never had motherly love because he was an abandoned child.
Okay, well, I was not abandoned, but I was beaten severely by my mother. Does that count?
Among all of us?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing too, and that, like if you want to get down to the specifics of like porn, that's like one of the most popular search things is like mother porn, and it's like that's because it's a bunch of horny dudes who kind of want to have the fantasy of fucking their mom or a stepmom. I specifically look for...
Or step sibling if you're Japanese.
Exactly. Or just cousin, because fuck it, everything goes in Japan apparently.
Dude, it was funny, man, because whenever I see those incest ones, when people always saying sweet at home Alabama, there's a person that was like literally, there's a little person like, hey, I'm from Alabama, like I don't understand the memes, like what do you mean?
Yeah. And also there's there's also the thing though that like I look up cougar stuff. But as soon as I hear that, you're my stepmom or you're my mom, and I'm like, click, I ain't watching that shit.
I think what I find funny the most is that people who comment there, they always comment about technical problems they have on their computers. Like, I remember this one guy who was talking about, like, hey, I'm having trouble getting competitive gameplay at BlizzCon and everything. Do you guys have any recommendations for setups?
I've seen those before, yeah. Hey, does anyone know a good gaming PC?
And then, like, you actually get some comments with actual good stuff.
I think it was on Haname on that Chika and Cheetah anime I told you about. The one about the girl who was Cody Fingers born to be raped.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting about that.
Stop reminding me. You're like, stop, Daddy. But
I don't need no more feels, especially since Emergence got turned into a live action.
Emergence?
That one fucking hentai me and Ben keep talking about the girl with the glasses.
Oh, really? Porn or like a movie? Because isn't it like an actual story?
It's an actual story, but it's just a TV series that Amazon released. But I'm tricking Ben into thinking it's a live action that got adapted.
Oh, you're talking about the one that's actually on TV.
Yeah. But I'm trying to convince Ben to thinking that no, it's a live action of the hentai manga.
Alright, well, before this spirals any more out of control than it already is, and this just started off as us having general conversation and nice conversation with each other, let's go ahead and dive even deeper into insanity with our review of the recently just released Promare by Trigger Studios, being published by G-Kids. Oh, shit.
Burning rescue.
I can't get any closer. Get going up here.
It sets my firefighter soul ablaze. Come on down, big boss, and fight me. Man to man. What the hell's going on? You're just a kid. It's Leo Fotia.
Hey.
Right.
My burning soul.
Oh, now I know where I heard that song before. I saw this trailer before.
This guy's stupid? Oh, yeah.
Magma from the Earth's core has been out of control. It'll be a great
It's Shizuo!
I still can't believe that I missed that.
It's not our choice.
That's not eye popping. It is eye popping. It is pretty good.
Yeah, see, like there's a 3D model. God, this is my favorite song.
Yep.
Someone must shoulder the fate of mankind.
Even if the ideals you look up to come
That song was always hype.
Right?
Your hope will never be broken. Now I'll show you.
complained about the trailers, not enough Stephen Bloom.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you'll hear a little bit of him in a bit. Because I just hope I don't have any popping issues. If not, I'll just have it ready on my phone.
Because, dude, like as everybody knows, man, I turned into Hisoka. I pretty much turned like the Hisoka into from Hunter x Hunter, like when he looks like God every time I hear Steve Bloom.
Oh no.
And so like, yes, more.
Good thing this isn't some battle anime and like Steve Bloom's the main character, because the poor guy would just keep getting tormented by you. But he'd never have to worry about people trying to kill him, because he'll just kill him and be like, no, not yet. Mm-hmm. No one can have him except for me. By the way, that was a pretty good Hisoka voice from you. That's why my hair kind of stood up. I'm like, fuck, I hear it. He's a creepy guy. Like Erica Mendes, the voice of Gon, even she's like, fuck, I don't even like being around the voice actor from him. He's so creepy. But
I've been practicing my shrink for the day I meet him.
Oh no.
Like that shit.
Oh yes, try. No. Don't do anything bad to Steve Bloom. See, this conversation already has annihilated any chances of us ever being able to meet him. Wait, are you those guys where you're both obsessed with him? No. One of us is obsessed.
That was the voice actor of Hisoka, by the way. We had him as a special guest.
No.
Just put him on the spot.
Right? No, or we do one where we make it very uncomfortable. Like, do the shitty thing people do at, like, panels where they ask them a favor and the person can't say no because they're around everyone. So we'll just go to, like, a panel with the voice actor for Hisoka. Would you be able to help a fledgling, passionate anime podcast? Say no. I dare you to say no in front of all these people.
Dude, even better. I'll just perfect that Hisoka voice. I'll just talk to him like that, and I'll see if I can psych out the psycho.
That's true. That did happen at the Ruby panel.
Yes, the chick that we met who was dressed as like who was dressed in like the Bloomers version of Ruby.
Yeah, yeah, but literally she popped up and she's like asked him a question, and they're like, Lindsay, did she eat Lindsay? Which is the voice actor for Ruby. But oh my god, that's so creepy. That was so creepy. It's actually never got to do anything with her. I think I lost the email.
Bad Danny.
Ow.
She was underage, okay?
Well, she looked underage, but I wanted to have her for when we did, not the whole episode, but like I wanted her to record a few things for the Ruby episode.
Oh God, Daddy.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
It's like we can't get the voice actors, but we'll get the next best thing.
We'll get that cheap sound. I can't even call it cheap. That sounded way too much like her. It was, okay, you know what, people? Quick aside real quick. I still have the video on here. Mm-hmm. Quick aside. It is haunting. It is absolutely fucking haunting. Let's skip over all the lewds I have here. Here she is.
Oh, I remember her.
Yeah. I didn't even realize she was Ruby. I'm like, okay, she's just wearing bunny ears and a school uniform. Oh, wait, I see it.
Oh, no, she's mute.
She's a little pitchy, but it just sounds like if the original voice actress had a cold. But oh my god, it was haunting.
You're about to say hot, weren't you?
Haunting. By the way, she wasn't bad looking either. Anyway,
no, I'm just sad that like when she posed with me, I ended up busting my hip on the floor.
That's true.
So I was like in pain.
You're a very overly passionate person when you do like posing and picture taking. Like there were so many times people where I thought he was gonna break his glasses at the convention because he'd literally throw his glasses on the floor when people asked him for photos.
Oh yeah, when I would toss my sandals, I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, and then just get your glasses and go, and I'm like, dude, you need those to get back home.
Don't worry, that's why they're made for sports.
Oh, that is true.
It's Steve Bloom.
Oh god, no, it's not. Anyway. Let's go ahead and kick off the review a bit. So,
Red Cross, they want my blood again.
Haven't I given you enough? You can never give us enough. There will never be enough. Anyway, Promare is a 2019 action comedy anime movie by Trigger Studios, which of course it's very famous for Kill la Kill. The chief staff that would later become Trigger also worked on Gurren Lagann, having the director and the writer of both of those shows being the ones who created this movie. And then of course they've done Little Witch Academia and...
Were they in charge of Space Patrol Luluco as well?
The team for this movie? It was Trigger, but I don't think it was those two guys.
No, I'm talking about the writer.
Oh, if it was the writer, then maybe.
Because I remember Aliens also showed up on that one as well.
Yeah, well, I'm also trying to figure out if maybe he did Darling in the Franxx, but I kind of don't want to because I figured even he would know not to introduce them that late. Because it's all like, aliens in the last 2 episodes? Yes, now let's roll with it. But if it wasn't, then I have a feeling it's not just them, it's also the entirety of Trigger, that everything needs to be, oh yeah, and then aliens.
You know, I get the feeling that whenever Trigger develops its storylines, and the best part is they have the talent to pull it off. Mm-hmm. But I get the feeling like the directors and like the whole cast, like the whole team that's in charge, they just sit and they just throw pretty much arrows at a pinwheel that has like different genres on it. It's like, oh, landed on aliens again. How should we do this one, guys?
No, dude. You look at the dartboard and it's literally little tiny slices for different genres for a plot twist, and then like 3/4 of it is just aliens. Oh, look, it landed on aliens again. But
like, for Promare, I was like, fire, okay,
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
he's about to die, so Interstellar, we got it. And then, there we go, aliens!
Oh, and love interest-wise, Yaoi. Ooh, we haven't done that one yet.
That's true. They got the Yuri, though.
Yeah. Did they have Yuri?
Little Witch Academia.
Oh, yeah, they did do Yuri. No Yaoi, though.
And then Kill la Kill.
Oh, Kill la Kill was definitely Yuri. Mm-hmm. I mean, Mako and Gamagori is OTP, so I don't want anyone fucking around with that.
I still remember that GIF you showed me, the train trying to go through the small tunnel.
Yeah, I've also gotten one where it was a little hamster eating a banana.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Very haunting images.
But you can't argue that the chemistry somehow works. It just somehow does.
I mean, it definitely was a thing they wanted to do, but, you know, they wanted to end it with the 3 of them going on like a date.
Yep.
Despite the fact that 2 of them are blood sisters and not even half sisters, they're full-on blood sisters.
Are they?
Satsuki and Ryuko, yeah. Same mom, same dad.
Oh, that's right. The only difference is one of them just made out of life fibers.
Yeah. One was made specifically to be experimented on, and then the dad ended up posing as a different guy. Mm-hmm. But it was still the same guy. So yeah, it wasn't even like a half sibling thing.
That's true. That dad, all he did was just like stretch his arms, hunch his back, and just turn into an old doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. But
that's Trigger, guys.
Yeah, and the thing with this is, one thing you guys kind of need to understand is this was definitely possibly going to be an anime, and then they decided to make it into a TV. They decided to make it into a movie probably because of Gridman and Darling in the Franxx took all their money and resources. But all I could think about while watching the movie is I'd rather have a beautiful looking hour-and-a-half movie.
Yeah, I'll light you up.
No.
So that way you can appreciate that of which is Trigger.
No, stop! I have to burn! The flames are telling me it needs to burn!
Oh, I was just gonna light the stock, but that too.
We'll get to it right now. But basically, it's like Gridman and Darling in the Franxx probably took all the resources. So I'd rather have like a 2-hour beautiful looking anime with just the bare bones of the script rather than a maybe poorly looking and therefore kind of disappointing like 12 episode anime. Because they really had to stretch the resources. And this movie was very, very reliant on CG, but it worked. They were able to work with it in a way that it worked really, really well.
For me, I literally paid $20 to get to see Fire Force in a nutshell.
And then,
Pretty much, but well, I don't know about the aliens yet, so.
yeah, well, that is true. But Fire Force looks like it's pseudo-religious.
Yeah, it's more based on the religion, not the religious doctrine. Well, actually, I don't even think they're trying to make the church, but the bad guys here, they're just there to kind of show it's like, yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah, well, what I meant is probably this is a better way for me to phrase it. It seems more mystical,
Yes.
and this one was definitely more sci-fi.
Yep.
Well, basically, the movie starts off basically kind of showing these very uncomfortable situations. Some of them were funny, and then the others are very uncomfortable, where you have a guy in the middle of a crowded train where a woman is flipping her hair in his face and like
Stepping on his foot with the heel.
yeah.
And then you got San Francisco with the guy stuck in the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, but that one's
Traffic.
funny, and then you're laughing, you're kind of laughing and feeling bad for the guy in the train, but then you're laughing at the guy in traffic.
Because geography, if you can relate to something, it's that much funnier.
But then you have a really messed up one where it's a pregnant woman, mind you, being abused by her husband and her
France?
boyfriend. Yeah, in France.
Which gets me to think, if we ever do get a French audience, is that a thing?
Yeah,
Because I know there's a lot of French rappers.
French what?
Rappers.
Yeah, and they usually kick the most ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about rapping that I find it so much cooler when I can't understand it. Like, there's this movie I like called Tokyo Tribe. It was based off a manga and I think had like an OVA. But like they made a live action movie and like there was something cool about hearing people rap in Japanese and I'm like, fuck, this is badass and I have no idea what they're singing about.
Like they did the Japanese raps in Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, and those are badass. But yeah, you have these. You start having these other instances of like the guy in the train exploding, and not only is he blowing up the train, but he's literally setting the entire like tunnel system on fire. Mm-hmm. The guy blows up the Golden Gate Bridge, and then the most uncomfortable one ended up having the funniest one where she blew up her apartment building, but then you see a little flame, like a streak of flames jump out the window and like hit the guy point blank as he's walking out of the building. And then you have other ones where it's people out in a crowded area and blowing up like the Shibuya crossing.
Yes.
And then you have another one where these
Sorry, I had
two
to sneeze.
It's okay. And then you have another one where these two guys are fighting and a person opens his mouth and spits fire. And it was one of those, you can tell he didn't mean to do it, but it was like, I'm gonna Oh, you know what I just saw him? The atomic flounder.
Oh yeah, it's like if I was younger, I oughta do that out of my way.
Yeah, the atomic flounder.
When he used this atomic breath on Barnacle Boy.
Yeah. and then he's like, oh my god, I can't believe I got that on camera. But yeah, and they sought to kind of point out the fact that suddenly, without warning, people around the world started getting superpowers, but all of them are flame-based, and
it was a tribute to like the phenomenon of spontaneous combustion, which, by the way, is a fairly recognized urban legend in most places of the world. People, that's actually a legitimate fear that people do have a fear of like spontaneously combusting one day.
yeah, South Park made an entire joke out of it, but it's all like, the reason we spontaneously combust is because when we're holding in our farts, all the gas is just lining up inside us. So they end up farting, but then they create like greenhouse gases.
Oh no. Oh, I remember that.
But is that like an actual thing that happens, or is it like a myth?
It's more of a myth, if anything, because it's like the only times they've ever been documented were pretty much like in lores and pretty much folktale.
Oh.
So like scientists have been trying to figure out if it's actually possible for a human to actually spontaneously combust.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, remember, and with science anything and everything happens. I mean, one of the biggest fears about the atomic bomb is that scientists were afraid of using it in the first place was the fact that when you reach an atomic nuclear detonation, and this is probably going around with this is probably like one of the basic things that goes into spontaneous combustions.
Mm-hmm.
A popular theory, but highly unfounded. But one of the reasons why people were afraid of atomic bombs, especially scientists who were in the Manhattan Project, is that they were afraid of that the fireball created from the nuclear explosion would be intense. That would actually create an uncontrollable chain reaction of burnt oxygen that would pretty much light our atmosphere on fire.
Oh yeah, so basically the stuff that they have in disease control places to kind of keep other diseases from getting out.
Mm-hmm. So they thought that was one of the biggest fears, is that we thought that they thought that we would be able to actually start an uncontrollable fire in the atmosphere.
Man, can you imagine if that actually happened? Like, literally life would be so fucking far behind if the Hiroshima bombing happened and it's just like, boom, the entire planet's on fire and life is dead, with only like maybe a few people surviving, but barely.
Barely. Fallout 76, boys. No,
Oh, yeah.
just Fallout in general.
Yep. But yeah, it's a fear people have, and the movie kind of played off this while not only do you have these people with superpowers out there, but one of the main problems is some of them are good, but they can't help but to subconsciously burn without even realizing they did it.
That's what we call an arsonist, Danny.
Yeah. But I'm saying good. Can you put that thing away? That is scaring the fuck out. Guys, he actually has a fire starter on him. No. Get away. What is this called again?
It's a lighter.
A giant lighter. How do I light it?
Oh no, you figured it out.
I have discovered fire.
Oh no.
Daddy, you stupid ape. You'll never figure it out. Oh god!
You figured it out. You just see me like go to my panic room and I just press the big red button. It's a cool red.
There's just sprinklers start shooting up in the apartment. Where's all this water coming from? The sewage line.
Oh no.
But it's the thing is, you do have people who are just flat out arsonists, but then you have other people who are like, dude, I just want to make pizzas. Like, I'm not hurting anyone. But, dude, the humanity will do what humanity does when we don't understand something, and we will fearmonger like a motherfucker. But we are literally containing anyone with burnish powers. We're killing people who don't comply to us. We're creating two separate government forces, one to deal with the fires they're starting, and then another one to flat out detain them and then later take them to get experimented on. And that is where the Fire Force spin-off kicks in. Freeze Force.
Freeze Force.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy, the most advanced team ever to pretty much like be in charge of pretty much their whole. Oh shoot! I just made the connection right now.
What?
Their eyes.
Yeah. That is,
Oh my god! Was this whole movie just one stupid freaking pun?
yep. That's all it is. It's like the plushies we bought. Hentai.
Oh yeah, the hentais.
It's a cute doll, but when you really think about it, it's just a giant stuffed stupid pun.
Exactly.
But
in all seriousness and everything, like pretty much the whole show, one of the big pretty much big common things running about things is again, it's like pretty much again like fear of the unknown, and then people being discriminated because of it.
Yeah.
Because these people can start fires without any given warning and everything as well. And like one of the main at first antagonists of the series.
oh fuck, what was this? What
It's
is
Leo.
Yeah, it was a super badass name.
It's Leo something. I
Yeah.
forget his last name.
I will go to the cast page. Keep going.
But I know one of my favorite artists. She has a huge crush on that guy because she likes really young looking men, and I'm all like,
I mean, I used to have a crush on this character too until I realized, oh fuck, it's a trap.
Are you talking about that one trap from Naruto?
No, I'm talking about Leo. I thought Leo was supposed to be a girl.
No.
Oh, Leo Fotia.
Fotia, there you go.
Shouldn't it technically be Fosha?
Not if you're Japanese.
Yeah, so Leo Fotia. So what were you saying?
So one of the things about him that he explains about the burnish is that like they pretty much have like this ability to kind of hear the fire speaking to them. That like there's this desire to kind of like to pretty much burn as brightly as they can so that they can get rid of their energy and everything. And
Yeah.
one of the things that he tells, especially like our main protagonist, Galleon. I hope I pronounced his name right.
Yeah, it's just Gallo.
Gallo. There you go. One of the things he tells them is pretty much like one of the things that they're proud of is like they never kill people whenever they do their fire things.
Yeah. Like, they'll burn the place up. But, like, for example, the movie opens with, like, a big, intense, like, building fire. And you see these people trapped right in the middle of the flames, which it's up to the burning rescue to go and free them. But one thing that Leo pointed out afterwards is, oh, we never trap people in a building without an obvious route for them to escape. Like, we can light the entire building on fire, but we might keep the stairway clean for them to just go down and not worry about it burning in on them. But what were you saying? Sorry.
And then like one of the things again as well that again taking that pride that they never kill people and everything as well, and that they try to keep usually damages to a minimum. Because again,
When they can.
when they can, yes, when they can. Because again, in this show, pretty much like the Burnish is pretty much just like again faction of people that grew after like the great incendiary flames that engulfed the earth.
Oops, didn't mean to do that. Keep going.
And pretty much as you progress throughout the story and everything as well, it's pretty much like one of those tropes which is starting to become a little cliche where it's like the bad guys aren't so bad, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, one thing too that I forgot, because you just pointed out that they were children of an aftermath. What happened is, while the height of the Burnish, discrimination was going on, this giant faction of Burnish, that would later be called the Mad Burnish, they were basically like, fuck it, every Burnish around the world, let's start a giant simultaneous fire and just fuck up the entire planet.
Oh yeah.
So this is just literally years into the future where society is back on its feet, but literally entire buildings are made specifically to handle fires. One of the really cool details is when a building's on fire, on the corners of each building, you'll see these giant water hoses pop up and start hitting, the building. And then of course you have Burning Rescue there to help do a more thorough job at putting it out and rescuing anyone who needs to be rescued.
So if you ever have a fire in your house, just hit up your local Steve Bloom actor and he'll be there to quickly think to fix it up.
Yeah, well, one thing to always point out when you're dealing with a Trigger anime is Trigger can't do anything normal. Everything's got to be like super crazy. So
Yes!
So you have these people like on fire trucks, but the fire truck is a giant fucking tank thing, and the water hoses are actually just these giant boxes with mech suits in it, and they launch the people up, and that's when they'll come in, and you'll have a guy who will specifically tear through debris and lift up things like a powerlifter. You have another guy just filled with Gatling guns of these ice bullets that expand every time they hit a target. And then another guy who is fighting with a specific bow staff that is made specifically...
Gallon?
Gallon.
Gallo.
Who is made specifically had a staff made specifically to like blow out fires, because that's how an ancient tribe of like firemen used to do it in their island. But then you have freaking Ignis.
Boys.
Yeah, and then you have Ignis, voiced by Steve Bloom in the dub, and no, me and Rui, we went to go. Me and Rui went to go see this as a dub, and oh my god, you were so red. I was so hoping you weren't gonna do it, because I'm like, we're in a movie theater. This isn't a convention. We're at a different environment, and you were so ready to lose your shit once they did like Ignis's introduction, and it was like, oh my god, there's Steve Bloom, and you're just like, you weren't yelling it, but you were like, woo! And I'm like, I'm happy that you're having fun, but not in a movie theater. but it was fine. We were all having fun. I was laughing my ass off, and I didn't care how annoyed the girl next to me was getting, because this movie was fucking funny, as Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill is. Sugar knows how to do some comedy, and like Ignis, while everyone's jiving in like this plane that is made specifically to transport people, or like these giant fire trucks, you have him in like a Camaro,
It was a Mustang.
Yeah.
A supercharged Mustang.
Yeah, you ever been a supercharged Mustang, just like driving around and like not really helping, but like
He's
you know,
directing them.
yeah, directing them like his job should be. Damn, what happened to the? Oh, I forgot. I was trying to conserve battery.
Nani? That
What?
thing's touch?
Yeah, I thought.
I never noticed.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I legit never noticed.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know. Let me see if this clip will play.
Gallo, listen up.
Oh, okay. So I still love that scene. So we're gonna play a little bit of that scene.
Every time I hear Ignis Man, it's kind of like, for me, it's like that meter from Mob Psycho 100 whenever he reaches 100%. You don't want to see me at 100%.
100%. Oh god. Should I even play? You really don't want me. You really make me not want to play this clip now. Because there's a lot of Steve Bloom in this clip.
But you know you want to.
I know I do. Okay, we'll play a little clip. Plus, I just want to hear the song. It's so fucking good. I love how he makes the throw.
It's awfully cocky of you.
Mad Burnish. Inferno terrorists? Affirmative. Most of them were captured, but their leader and two of the top generals are still at large. Gallo, listen up. Don't underestimate him. He's the root of all Burnish crime. The world's been hunting him for 30 years. He's the leader of Mad Burnish. The rescue gear you're wearing wasn't designed for this. Wait for backup. So this guy's the boss?
Go, don't!
Aina, we need to get those people out of here. Right now!
Don't do anything crazy!
You know he already made up his mind.
Damn right I did. Getting scorched is part of the job. If I let these pyros get away, the shame would kill me. Playing cover terrorist crap. Hey!
Jesus Christ. Ooh, what will happen next? You guys will just have to watch the movie to find out.
Exactly.
But yeah, this, again, the fucking voice acting in this movie is amazing. And
Well, dubbed and sub, because I have one of my friends, one of my coworkers actually watched both of them, both dubbed and subbed.
Mhm.
And it says he actually really liked both of them, almost to the point where he actually almost preferred the dub over the sub.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like one thing that if you like, you know, like with your friend, if you have a preference for one thing or the other, or had a chance to see one thing, but both of them are good, I think us Americans will always go for the English if it's a good English dub, because in that way we don't have to worry about reading. And in Trigger's case, they love talking in the middle of their fights, and I always have an issue of not being able to read fast enough that I end up missing details.
That's where 2 years of Japanese come into play.
I know, you're like, I'm a full-powered weeb, thank you.
Almost there. I just need 2 more years to be literate.
Yes, but yeah, I'm really glad to hear someone actually say something good about a dub, because a lot of people have actually said really good things about this dub, and it kind of really helps the fact that you're having... Wait a minute. What?
What did you do?
Something just hit me right now about Promare, about the voice actor for Gallo.
What about him?
I just realized he sounded very familiar.
Oh.
And if it's who I think it is, and that guy is blowing the fuck up, Billy Comets. It's Naofumi's English voice actor for fucking Shield Hero.
Oh.
That's why he sounded familiar.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, well, guy's new, as you see. They don't have anything listed for him.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, but Billy Comets, he was a Nai in a Gretzko's dub, and he was Naofumi in Rising of Shield Hero. So yeah, guy's blowing up. But it's even crazier seeing the other people going in, especially from Steve Bloom and Johnny Young Bosch, who is Leo Fotia in here. The second main character, who is like, 12 million worldwide. That's not bad. Box office.
1.2 billion. Ooh.
Yeah, that's also really good. I think. But Oh, sorry guys, but yeah, as you guys know, Johnny Young Bosch was the second Black Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's racist.
Well, I mean, the show was already racist because they had a literal black guy as the first Black Ranger and a natural Asian girl as the Yellow Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have Johnny Young Bosch, who of course a lot of people are gonna realize as Vash from Trigun.
I love that show too.
And he is just, again, this is, I don't know who directed the dub, but like this is someone that they're like, okay, we're gonna do this dub and we love these guys, so we're just gonna freaking make sure we get people who actually sound and are very appropriate to the characters. Like Kari Volgren, who played the scientist Lucia Fex, who, you know, is the crazy scientist girl. That's Haruko's voice actor from Fooly Cooly. And she was great in this role, and the voice felt very complimentary to that character.
And then you got Craig Forsyth, who's Crispin Freeman.
Oh my god.
She's the wolf from Durara.
And Alucard from Helsing.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And then it's funny, man, because you didn't notice it was him until you heard him scream.
Yeah, and when you just no, what happened is you randomly said Shizuru, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then you randomly yell out like Shizuru from Durarara, and as soon as you said that, when he started screaming, I'm like, oh shit, you're right. Because as soon as, okay, so let's dive into the story because it's gonna be one of those shows.
Yep.
So they go in, try to stop a burning building, and then they get cut off by Mad Burnish, which isn't a slang, like I thought they were saying, but it's a natural terrorist group of people who just start fires and do everything they can to make things harder for like the government workers there. And
Exactly. Oh.
the poorly hired. And they show up and, you know, they get into a really badass fight. You have... That clip actually cuts out right when Leo gets up from his chair to fight Gallo. Mm-hmm. And you get a really badass, like, cool fight from that. But you can almost tell that they wanted to get captured.
Yeah.
Like, this was planned. And almost immediately, without even... Because they still want you to think that the Mad Burnish are evil, but then almost immediately get introduced to Freeze Force, which is the super technologically advanced, like... We are made specifically to hunt and fight the Burnish while these guys are there to put out the fires. And yeah, they're basically being led by Gurishka from Battle Angel Aelita.
Oh, that's right!
That's all I could think about when I saw that guy, which I think his name was...
He was Magma, isn't it?
Man?
No, like the character's name wasn't Magma?
It was Vulcan, right?
Vulcan, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Vulcan, I didn't even know he had a last name.
Vulcan Hastus.
Yeah, I didn't know he had one because they only put Vulcan in the movie. Mm. But yeah, he's the sadistic leader of Feast Force who is like flat out like, oh, we're literally beating the shit out of these freaking guys who are already arrested and surrendering, and then we're even beating up and bullying like the burning rescue people and trying to arrest Gallo because Gallo is considered a civilian who took on a Burnish, and that is incredibly dangerous. So if you live, you get arrested.
Oh, sorry. I was just reading for Aina.
What does it say? Aina? Wait, who's Aina again?
The chick, the one that everybody thought he was gonna kiss, but then nothing happened afterwards.
Yeah, but that is because if he went with her, then we would have had a serious issue with the Yuri people.
With the Yaoi people.
Yaoi people, thank you. By the way, like we'll go into the characters a little bit later, but her sister, I don't know what it was about the sister, but I'm like, you're hot.
You always go for the crazy ones.
The sister wasn't crazy.
Yes, she was.
I mean, what she wanted to do was crazy, but she tried to stop it. She tried to.
Tried.
What was her name again? Ignis. Wait, is her last name here?
Harris.
Oh, Eris?
Yeah.
What is it? Where is she on the list?
Harris Ardabit.
Oh,
Aina's older sister.
Oh, I think I recognize that voice actress. Anyway, going back to it, yeah, they're almost like like flat out telling you, yeah, this is gonna be one of those movies where we're the real bad guys and these guys are okay. And yeah, flat out, they take him to a secret base made specifically to hold the Burnish, and you flat out, they get thrown into a cage, and as soon as you almost immediately see, oh fuck, these people are getting like horrifically experimented on.
Yep.
And you have kids who are like wrapped up in bandages and dying.
Kids and old men.
Yeah, kids, old men, and like...
Pretty much just civilians and everything as well.
Yeah, because it's one of those like, look, Burnish are people, and sadly you have people like Cray spreading lies about the Burnish, and people like Gallo who are, you know, sensible, but he even kind of mocks them saying, oh, I didn't know you guys needed food. But the Burnish are people, you know, it's like the same thing with X-Men. They may be different, but they're still people. So one of like the big things that happen in this movie is they're eating pizza, margarita pizza, I think.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, who made this pizza? And he's like, oh, well, I hired a new guy, and, you know, he's the one, like, making all the pizza everyone loves. And suddenly Freeze Force shows up, tries to capture the guy, and the guy reveals himself to be a Burnish only because he was trying to defend himself.
Yep.
And they end up capturing him, and the really sad thing that ends up happening is like people are like, wait, a Burnish made this pizza? Oh god, they might as well just be feeding us garbage by this point. Like, people don't like the Burnish. And I really do appreciate the movie for almost immediately telling you, like, Leo is not the bad guy here. These, you know, the Burnish are not bad guys. Look at what's going on to them.
They're being stigmatized by the institution!
Yeah!
Hey, it worked!
Oh god, but this movie's gonna make a lot of anarchists. And the movie's ending doesn't do us any favors. Stop yelling! Anyway, god damn it, the freaking anarchists up in here. So,
Alright, there we go.
who is that?
No,
Red Cross?
it's still the Red Cross. They really want my blood.
Under new management, bleh. It is Halloween season. I only come out in the month of October.
Oh no.
But anyway, so anyway, moving on. One thing they do kind of set up is like is Ina, who is the female character in this movie, that she has a sister. She makes like this comment about scientists because they're talking about like how Cray, who is the governor of the city here, he's the one who invented these bullets that were made specifically to trap Burnish and put out fires more effectively, and suits that are super fireproof. And they make this comment about scientists, and it's revealed that her sister, Eris, is a scientist, but the sister is in charge of specifically in gateway wormhole science, but she's trying to find a machine that can punch wormholes in time and, like, you know, just shorten up the speed of, you know, the speed of stuff.
Yeah, because at this point, pretty much after they raided the pizza parlor and everything, Gallo pretty much goes over to Governor Cray's office because he wants to figure out what's going on.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen between them.
Yeah,
So what ends up happening is when they set that up and they arrest that guy, they immediately take us back to the prisoner.
Oh, that's true.
Well, they're about to go and take Leo to, you know, somewhere in the building, and Leo is able to break out of his restraints that are made specifically to keep the Burnish from escaping, and you just get this super crazy scene of him, like, letting all the prisoners out, fighting off all the Freeze Force members. And one thing I've noticed about Trigger, the more they keep making cartoon shows, when you have Trigger that they're not doing an adaptation or they're not doing a show that is in conjunction to another company, like Gridman and Dolly and the Frogs are super tamed animation wise, but when you have like Little Witch Academia, Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, this, you could tell their love for old school style slapstick cartoons comes in.
Oh yeah.
like Looney Tunes base. Because even though you have this really intense scene of him fighting in a small hallway,
You just look at
you get a crazy scene where the Freeze Force members are driving a big ass vehicle in the middle of the hallway, but you see it literally like squeezing in and like trying to crawl after him.
And again, it's one of the things that pretty much like well, if you watch the premiere and everything, like they did a roundtable discussion of as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much like what inspires them to do all these kind of animations, like the drawing styles that they take up to as well, and like why they think for themselves like this is pretty much like the core aspects of animation in general for them, in their opinion, which I actually agree with.
Yeah.
And again, kind of things about the movie as well is like one of the things about the Trigger that really does Studio Trigger really does when it comes to the animations is their use of the color palettes when it comes to expressing different scenes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not only when it comes to portraying like emotions and everything, but kind of just like the ambience of the scene as well. It's like place is cold, it's desolate, it's meant to be depressing and everything. Fire, it's something that's supposed to move like unpredictably.
Yeah, and the nice little detail I liked is natural fire was natural colors. It was orange and yellows and reds. But the burnished fires were purple, pinks, and greens.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that's kind of cool is the burnished have so much control over the fire that they can create physical constructs out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing, if you guys end up watching that clip that we played, you'll see that the burnished are creating motorcycles and ATVs and a throne, and the suits they make are also made out of the same material. And like you said, it's all about color palette. It's all about like these guys are bad, so they're all in black. Mm-hmm. But now they're in brighter colors and they're presented more in a brighter light. And now Freeze Force is the definite bad guys because they're all in black now.
Yep.
And they're scary looking and ominous. And like Cray, who is believed to be good at first, he's all in white and basically looks like Japanese Superman if he was blonde. But one of the other things that ends up happening is after that whole thing with the pizza thing happens too, is Gallo gets angry and ends up running off to this part of the city that he really enjoys, which is a frozen lake that is like
Oh yeah,
5 meters deep in ice, if not more.
Deeper, yeah, because he says because 5 meters actually comes to how far he dug,
Yeah.
and he said it was still solid ice all throughout.
Yes, and what you find out what that is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
But it was one of those like tender scenes because Aina follows him over there as well because she's just thinking like, I thought you were gonna do something stupid like raid the governor's office or something.
yeah.
He was like, well, really, you came over here to back me up then?
Yeah, right. And that's the thing is, one of the things that is kind of a, unfortunate that this wasn't a TV show is you don't get a lot of time with a lot of the characters in the show unless the very important characters like Craig, Gallo, and Leo get a lot of time. And then Aina and her sister are just fortunate enough to be close enough to the main cast members to the point where you get plenty of sweet moments with them. I really did enjoy the relationship between Eris and Aina and how what they were doing and why one was doing the other thing for this reason. But the other three characters, Ignis has his moments of badassery, but the other three members of Burning Force, they're just, two of them are there for backup and the other one's just there to build suits and act crazy.
Act crazy.
Yeah.
That's true.
They even have a little cute mascot because they always need to have one. Basically this mouse with the fireman's hat just kept reminding me of Buta from Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann, yeah, the little mole there that always sneak itself into Yoko's chest.
Yeah, the one with sunglasses and stuff.
Yeah.
But you have that actually, due to the story, the pacing, and the characters they do focus on, that didn't bother me as much because those characters, they were underdeveloped, but they never felt wasted. They weren't oh, you're just here to do this. No, it's you're here, you have your reason for doing it, and that's fine. Maybe one day we'll be able to get a more expanded story, but I frankly don't need one by this point. But you do have a very sweet, tender moment with them, and then it gets broken up when they notice a burnish flare out in the distance, and Gallo ends up going into a cave just full of burnish, and that's a very ominous, again, going back to what you pointed out with the color palette. It's a very ominous scene because now he's in a dark cave that is primarily purple with the burnished flame like creating heat for all of them. And that's when Gallo learns that the governor is greenlighting these horrific experiments on us. There's a lot of us who are dying, and he witnessed the death. Oh.
No, you're good. I just like reading up.
Yeah, and he witnessed the death of a young Burnish girl due to some very heavy experimentation. And it is a very tender scene, and I really, really wish that was the scene they put on YouTube, but I get it because it's a major spoiler. They want you to think he's the villain. But it's such a great little scene of him just, like you said earlier, it's how the burnish is there's this thing in the head telling them burn brighter, burn faster, just keep doing it. But Mad Burnish and other burnishes that stand by them, they are all about like, okay, I'm going to create this fire, but I need to make sure I don't burn this part so the people inside can escape, and we don't kill people. Again, that entire scene where Leo's fighting his way out of the building, not once did he actually burn a dude alive or kill anyone flat out. It's always knocking them out or using the fire to restrain them. But it's a really tender scene, and that leads us to the scene that you were trying to get to. So go.
So pretty much once that happens and everything, that's when Leo pretty much reveals about the human experimentation going on with the burnish.
Yeah.
Not knowing what yet that entails and everything.
Yeah.
But that kind of like that pretty much gets under Gallo's skin. So he decides to go over to the governor's office.
One thing too. The reason this is a big deal is because Gallo has a very big love for the governor. Because when Gallo was little, he was trapped in a house fire that the Governor Cray happened to be at the right time, ran in and rescued him. And Gallo is like, wow, he's a hero. He was only in college when that happened, and he's the one who started Burning Rescue.
Yep.
And was the one who put Gallo in there and kind of egged him on to do Burning Rescue so he can be just like his hero.
Exactly.
Okay, that's gonna make all the difference.
I know, man. Because again, this was somebody that Gallo always looked up to and everything as well. So for him to confront him is pretty much one of those things that he was like struggling to puzzle. Because all his life he's always looked up to this man, but now he's hearing that he's committing these atrocities.
Yeah.
To the burnish.
Yeah, and it's not even like, oh, it's someone else. It's like, no, he's the one greenlighting this.
Exactly. So when he starts talking about it, that's pretty much when Cray decides to show Gallo the whole truth about what's going on with the Earth.
Yeah, and it turns out that the Earth's core, the magma, is superheating to the point where the Earth only has 6 months of life left.
Mm-hmm. And pretty much what that entails is that if left unchecked, pretty much like a volcano will start sprouting all over the world, and it'll pretty much it'll be like a second coming of like the Great Inferno.
Yeah, except it will make the Great Inferno look like a little house thing.
Exactly. So Cray's plan, pretty much which is what he was explaining to Gallo, is that he planned to pretty much like save a select few individuals and then pretty much transport them to a new planet.
Yeah.
And then he said that he could only transport 10,000 civilians because that's all the time. That's the only enough all the time they had to develop a ship.
Yeah,
big enough to get
which
everything.
is a flat-out reference to Gurren Lagann, because Gurren Lagann also had a scene. We will talk about this one day. I know there's just so many other stuff that we get, we want to talk about, that other things that we should have talked about already get pushed out. But like with Gurren Lagann, the whole thing with them is like, we're going to create an arc, put all the animals and like 10,000 people in there, because I think 10,000 was the number that they hit that caused the anti-spirals to show up.
I think it was like 100,000 or like a million. No, I think it was 1 million.
Oh, okay.
It's like once humanity reaches 1 million births, that's when the anti-spiral showed up.
Oh, okay. Alright, so it wasn't as low as I thought. But yeah, in this one it's flat out like, we have this giant, massive arc, and it can only hold 10,000 people. And I'm like, really? Is this 2012 again, where like one room can hold to 10 people, but you guys are only letting like 5,000 on?
And one of the things, that he was talking about is like one of the breakthroughs that they were trying to get through is pretty much trying to get his engine to work. What did they call the engine again?
Oh fuck, I forgot.
It was a specific name for an engine, but pretty much the way the engine works is that it pretty much it relies on the burnish's power to power it up.
In a very unfortunate way too.
So pretty much what it does is it spins the burnishes really fast to the point where they auto ignite themselves, and pretty much harnesses their flame so that they can open up the portal.
Yeah.
So that they can travel through. It's like
You're like, my plan is ready. My kneecap. Okay, huh?
so pretty much use the engine to open up what Danny says opening up an interdimensional portal so that they can go to their second plan B, which was Proxima Centauri. I remember the star because that's the closest star to the Earth.
So that's an actual planet.
No, that's an actual star system.
Oh.
Because Proxima Centauri is consistent of two stars. Alpha Centauri, which is actually the closest one.
Yeah, we actually don't have a proper name for that.
Because I know they had a name for the engine.
Yeah, they said it a bunch of times in the end, but it doesn't say it. It just says to power a machine.
Screw it! I'm gonna use the name for the Halo engines that they use, the slip space drive, the Sha Fujiwara slip space drive. That's what we're gonna call the engine.
Oh god, that's a tongueful though. So what were you saying?
So yeah, and one of the things that he was telling him was it's a sacrifice that they have to make just to ensure that humanity survives the upcoming eruption that's going to be happening inevitably.
Yeah.
And Gallo's pissed obviously because he's wondering are you sure you tried everything to make sure because we have the technology to try to stop the magma and everything, and he's telling him no, trust me, I've thought of everything and anything we could have thought, and there's nothing we can do to stop the magma.
Yeah, and of course he asked him so Gallo, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, I want to stay on Earth and do everything I can to think of a way to extinguish the flares in the bottom. And he's like, that's what I thought you said. And I forget what exactly Gallo tells him, but he said something, he said something like, I expected nothing less from you. And he's like, thanks, Gov. And then suddenly Craig just fucking beats the shit out of him, and he's like, stop calling me Gov! God, I hated that stupid nickname you made for me. Just looking at you as an eyesore. And it's like, oh, where did this come from?
It's that pent-up rage that comes with the Shizuo family line.
Yeah. So basically, it turns out Craig is Craig has a reason for doing what he wants to do, but Craig's a bad motherfucker too. He doesn't care what he needs to do. And yeah, he never liked, I don't want to reveal it yet, we'll get there, but he never liked Gallo. And there's a reason why he told Gallo to join Burning Rescue. That's actually really funny.
I know. But that was the best part of the movie. Everybody just kept cracking up at the movie theater.
Yeah, and you whispered to me, you're like, that's a really sound idea though. I'm like, oh, okay.
It legit was a sound idea because we'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it.
So basically he gets arrested and sent to the same prison that he gets sent to an underground prison where they're keeping most of the burnish that they're using to power the machine, after it's shown that the power that the sister needs for this machine can work with the burnish. The only problem is they need to use everything. And
we saw with the chick who died, when the burnish pretty much run out of their burning force, they turn to ash.
Yeah. And no matter what you do, there's no way of really waking up that flame again. There's no rehabilitation or nothing. They turn to, like you said, ash. It's a really sad scene. I still think of that scene, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was really sad. But, what ends up happening is someone, Leo and his band, end up taking all of the survivors from the prison camp into this area where burnish can live freely. And I really like the design for that. It was basically a freeway line.
I'm just going to call it the 101 North.
The 101 North.
They were living underneath the 101 North.
Yeah, well, some of them are living underneath it, and then others are on top of it with a double layer.
And then inside of it, yeah.
Yeah, and it was, and that specific area is just surrounded by volcanoes. And it's the perfect hiding place because there's no way of finding the burnish with all the heat activity going on. So they're basically hiding in plain sight. The only problem is that Freeze Force catches wind of this, and right when Leo and his band of other warriors are about to go and fight off the Freeze Force, turns out the old man burnish that they rescued actually is the one who sold them out and injected Leo with this super powerful ice bullet that expands based off a person's body heat. Mm-hmm. And so
an endothermic reaction.
Yeah, so no matter how many times he burns, the thing's just gonna get bigger. So with the last of their strength, as Freeze Force is bagging everybody up, one of his two lieutenants, well, both of them actually create a construct and like catapult him out of there.
Yep.
Which causes him to land in a really badass looking like
Volcano? It's Mount
volcano.
Doom.
Yeah, there we go, Mount Doom. I was gonna say like the Skeletor Castle, but it's a volcano. But for some reason, there's like a giant demon skull head in the middle, rock formation wise, and I'm just like. I just want to hear the song again. Please don't give me any issues when I'm trying to play the audio computer. You've been very good today. There's
And
been
again-
no audio popping.
Like again, like one of the things again that they mentioned like in the afterwards, in the afterthoughts when they were when they showed the section about the producers talking about the movie is that I think one of like the writers and everything said like he always teared up whenever he heard the OSTs that Sawakano which is the guy who pretty much produced the soundtrack for them.
Yeah, Hiroyuki Serrano.
And so he always said like every time he heard the song like yes this fits the scene perfectly or yes this is gonna make me cry.
Natalie?
Oh man, it's possessed again. We will murder your family.
Skip the ad. Skip it.
We can't skip the ad because then the audio's gonna be all choppy.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it covered. So keep going. What you were saying? That was a good thing to point out too.
About what?
About what they said about the thing, the soundtrack, and how like this he would make these songs and almost kind of automatically know what they wanted to go for.
Yeah. And pretty much again as well, like the director, like this later on became a meme in the theater, but like every time the guy talked about one of his songs, like, yeah, I always felt myself move to tears.
Yeah.
And then again, he'd always like, he'd describe like this feeling whenever he heard something like, yes, this is gonna be the opening song, or yes, this is gonna be what we're gonna use for our fight themes, or yes, this is this character's theme song right here.
Yeah, and the song that's about to play right now is called Superfly by Kakasuri. Kakasuri, which I bet is probably just a Japanese name. And it's flat out titled Leo Fotia's theme.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else before we go back into the scene?
Mm-hmm. And one more thing as well, pretty much like, again, it's like as Leo's whisked away into Mount Doom and everything, pretty much like the plan's coming together to get humanity out of there. And one of the things that they build up to as well is pretty much like the magma is inevitable, however the timestamp is not.
Yeah.
Because they had 6 months.
But then they end up doing something, and a character ends up doing something that just spirals
Everything
even.
out of control.
Yeah, so what ends up happening in that scene is you have Leo just stuck on a volcano with the ice enveloping him the more he tries to burn it off. And the cool thing is, it's a little hint to the twist in this movie. But you see the fire from the volcano turn into these tentacles and start smashing at the ice. And you get this scene where Leo, thinking about all the terrible things that happened to him and the fire kind of fueling him, he burns super bright, goes inside his chest, rips the bullet off and crushes it. And then you get this super badass scene where he turns into this black inferno type demon and makes a dragon out of fire and just starts like raging across the city. Mm-hmm. And mind you, the entire time this is going, they're playing this song, and they're not particularly playing the song in order, but they're doing things where like, okay, we're gonna play this scene first because it's gonna work better with the scene, and then we're going to play the middle scene at a very big moment because that's just gonna seem cooler.
Yeah.
Like I think it's this part. Here we go. Like this scene that's going is at a scene where they momentarily got him to calm down a bit, and then once it picks up, you just have him breathing fire at a building, and the building's like firing missiles and like ice back at him. Yeah. And the whole time I'm like, this is why you need to see this movie in a theater. This is why I'm so glad that they put this in Anime Expo, and why we weren't in a dead theater. There was a healthy amount of people over there when we went to go see it. And sadly, the movie only made like 800,000 domestically here. But, 800,000 ain't bad for a movie, this small.
Yeah.
So I'm glad people are watching this in theaters and things just work in this scene. Anything you would like to add on?
At least it was successful in Japan as well. 12.1 billion yen is nothing to laugh at.
Yep.
And again, pretty much like what we talked about, like pretty with the movie as well. There's many, pretty much like when it comes to cinematography and everything, there's many elements that come to making different scenes like iconic and everything.
Yeah.
Not only like the acting and everything as well, but kind of like how they set up the scene, and more importantly, the soundtrack. Because when you blend all three together, that's pretty much like what you like what you heard Daddy saying as he was kind of like creaming himself over over the eye candy of the show. But yeah, the movie pretty much just like does all of these really well, and then I see that opening.
Do you know what I'm gonna do?
Yes, I know exactly. Oh, okay, you do your joke.
Do it! I want to do it! It's funny. Because fuck it. God damn it, I was hoping you weren't looking at the show.
I'm always ever observant. Nothing escapes my vision because one thing about this show that it definitely is pretty much the show is.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much one of the best parts of the show is pretty much again, the coloring, the scenes, everything just goes together to make one lit animated movie.
Yeah, and this entire scene is flat out like all in neon too. It's all in the primary like burnished colors.
Yep.
But yeah, how much more? This would have been a lot more appropriate for the Dororo using the Dororo opening would have worked just as well in the movie. Oh, went back a little too far. Quick aside, who the fuck were these guys? They never show up. At least I don't think they ever show up. I'm trying to think of like who are they supposed to be? I don't know who they're supposed to be. I don't think they ever show up. I don't know. Maybe I should like randomly tack a photo somewhere in the review to just be like, help us people, who are these random guys?
It's like help lost slugs still cannot find in show.
Yeah, like at first I thought they were the guys who killed Mio's family, but then I'm like, wait, no, I saw how those guys look like in the manga. They don't look like, they look exactly like they did in the anime, except less cartoony. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that opening would have looked a lot better in that scene. But a lot of things work well, and what we end up getting to is a scene where they break. He accidentally gets broken. Gallo accidentally gets broken out of prison, and he's running at supersonic speed alongside the burning rescue, and they put him back in his mech, and he ends up getting this really intense fight with Leo, where they're kind of fighting each other, and it's not really a I'm gonna kill you kind of fight. It's a I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you until you calm down, because you are having like the mother of all temper tantrums. And yeah, there was even the scene where like he was going to destroy the building that Craig was at, and am I the only one that thought Craig was gonna reveal to have like ice powers?
I thought he was gonna have ice powers too, because I just saw him put his arm and started glowing. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what? Is he like the anti-form of like? Because I remember that's one of the things about the swirl is like there's the spirals and the anti-spirals in Gurren Lagann. So I'm like, is there like an antithesis to the spire thing? Is he like the only is he like an aberration or something?
Yeah, and the reason why you automatically think it's ice is because when he powers down the glove, you see like what looks like little ice flakes on his glove. Like, oh yeah, he was totally gonna fire an ice beam at him or something.
Not knowing that it's totally just ash that came out of it.
Yeah, it was either ash or it was actual ice made specifically to do something to him.
Exactly.
We're really bad at this whole spoiling things as things go on. No.
That's fine. That's what makes our improv game on point.
Yeah.
Right, Danny? Sets ablaze.
Well, Daddy's really good at improving screams of pain. I'm on fire!
He's all tuckered out.
Joke's on you. I'm gonna use my burning body and roll and put it out all over your ninjoids.
Oh no! The horror.
That would be the worst thing to happen.
Cries.
But yeah, Gallo comes, not necessarily to rescue him, but just know that him killing Cray ain't gonna solve anything, because Gallo did respect the fact that, the Burnish took pride off not killing people, and he doesn't want him to break that. So they end up fighting. He ends up locking him into the back of Aina's ship, where Aina then like drops him into the lake full of ice, and then you realize, oh no, it's not even a ice frozen over water. It's literally just a giant layer of ice on top of this structure, this mysterious structure underground.
That has no water added at all.
Yeah, it's literally just a gap with someone frozen on top with ice, and
Dude, when I thought those were the aliens for sure.
I thought it was gonna be aliens, or it was gonna be like some top secret Burnish group, like more members of Mad Burnish that not even
Oh, like the Dajihud from Wolfenstein.
Yeah, because remember what they said, that Mad Burnish was around for 30 years, like the leader was giving them problems for 30 years.
Yeah.
But then they go on and say that Leo was only a kid. So I thought that was, obviously we now know it was probably Leo took the job from someone else, but I thought it was going to be like, oh wait, no, there's the original guy that they thought was the leader of Mad Burnish. But no, it ends up revealing that this character that they only show in clips, and he doesn't have any real dialogue.
At the beginning, it was only like a couple like snippets at the beginning of the film.
Yeah. And they end up like getting contacted by this AI that looks like a bearded old man. Basically, he did look like Ryugu's dad without the eye patch.
Exactly.
And he goes in and tells them like, oh, I am so glad you guys are here. I've been waiting for you. And he then goes on to tell them everything, like the Burnish. The Burnish are actually, they have this power due to another species called the Promare. The Promares are the ones that gave you powers. What are the Promares? The Promares are aliens who have come to our planet.
From another dimension, mind you.
Yeah.
Because in the other because one of the things that he explains about them is that the Promare are pretty much and this is what pretty much like the roundtable discussion kind of like gives you the idea of the inspiration behind the movie in general. Mm-hmm. Because the Promare, he said, they come from another dimension where Earth is actually like a white dwarf or a type of star.
Yeah.
Where pretty much the organisms there pretty much live as fire itself. And one of the things that they talk about the roundtable discussion with the director is like, when they look at natural flames, it's always unpredictable. But what they wanted to do with the flames in this film is they wanted to make it look organic, like it was living or something. Mm-hmm. Like it's like you're like not like you mentioned. Not only is it able to kind of like move or everything or burn like a fire, but you can turn it into shapes. It can do whatever it wants, pretty much. Take whatever form the user wants it to.
Yeah, and because of this, and the fact that from a different dimension, and sometimes you might get cases of them sharing the same type of DNA and structure, that's why you do have a select few of humans who are actually able to control the power of the Promare. Mm-hmm. And the Promare are the ones in the middle of the Earth's crust that are about to erupt in 6 months.
Yep.
But with all this craze of burning and fire and what they're going to do with the other Burnish to open up the Stargate, the Promare are getting too excited, and now that 6 months is only like a couple of hours by this point?
It gets shortened because one of the things that the doctor explains to them is pretty much like that the Burnish and the Promare are pretty much linked to each other psychologically or mentally. Mm-hmm. So when the Promare sense that there's a Burnish that's in anguish or anything, it reacts in kind by thinking like, oh, my brethren's in trouble, I need to go help him out.
Oh, I totally didn't notice that. God damn it. What was I like? I was probably laughing.
Yeah. Dude, it was a funny scene too because that's literally where they debunked the anime cliche where like they were where like Gallo and Leo were like, but how did you know we were gonna come? And he was like, I didn't.
I love that.
I was like, I was just hoping, I just recorded this in the event that somebody happened to accidentally stumble upon this lab.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, what made you want to choose us? I didn't. You two just happened to show up. But what was funny though is that people actually everyone laughed once they announced that they were aliens, and I'm like, one thing I want to point out is I was sitting next to a girl with like her boyfriend or friend, whatever, and the whole time she was just like, okay, like doing this okay, and I'm just like, have you never seen one of these animes before? They do this all the time. That's like, as stupid as the movie is, I love it because this is what they did in their other two shows.
It's their trademark right there, pretty much.
Yeah, and yeah, what ends up happening is he's like, yeah, Cray killed me. I'm the one that created all the technology that Cray was pushing on everyone. And
He pretty much explained pretty much the flaw in Cray's engine, the Shaw Fujiwara slip space drive.
and he's like, so what I want you guys to do is go into this machine, which is my actual finished and properly functioning engine, and go and stop Cray from using his before he destroys the entire planet. And of course, because it's Sugar, it's a giant robot.
There's a giant mech named Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, it was literally the Deus Ex Machina. I forgot it was called that. And they go in, and the funny thing is that the robot looks like a little chunky baby. Like, it's very thick, it's very bulbous, it doesn't even proper...
Like I like it.
It doesn't even have properly hands and legs. It just has like little hooks for the hands. And the whole time when they're about to go and stop him from using the machine, he's Gallo just isn't feeling it, and Leo's like, wait, what's going on? Why aren't you fighting back? He's like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, look at this thing. It's not cool looking at all.
It's like I can't get fired up with this at all.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, fine. Leo's like, okay, fine. Give me a minute, because how this is working is, Gallo is kind of operating the mech. And
Leo's is pretty much the power source.
Yeah, and he's supplying anything he needs. So he ends up basically turning the mech into the Gurren Lagann.
Yep.
Or Daiguren.
Daiguren. Exactly, because it has a face on its freaking chest.
Yeah, well, like the ultimate form did, but when it did, it was like, it just had a mouth, but it didn't have like the eyes. But like you look at it, and it even had like the little semi-helmet thing on. And it's like, oh, this is totally the Daiguren. And he called it the Leo de Gallo.
Oh yeah, the Leo de Gallo. It's like, yeah, because I'm trying to humble myself. Like, I don't want my name to be the first one there.
Yeah. Because Leo's like, what kind of stupid name is that? He's like, hey, just be glad I'm being humble. I could have called it the Gallo de Leo. And that's, again, just like, this is why I love Trigger. This is why I love Kill la Kill. This movie just completely loses its mind, because we still have, mind you, 25 minutes of the movie left. And literally the last 25 minutes is a giant robot fight where Cray, who has now officially lost his mind, is like, okay, I want everyone to go down to the lower deck and transfer all operations down to the lower deck. And he turns the entire upper deck into a giant robot. And it just turns into a gigantic epic mech battle where it's literally just the villain and them saying stupid one-liners and coming up with names for weapons on the fly.
Oh yeah,
to the point where Cray's even like, stop making up these stupid names!
And then he just starts making up his own names as well. That's the funny part, is that Cray ridicules Gallo for doing these things and then proceeds to do the same thing as well.
Yeah, but he shoot. I love it. He has a cannon that turned a building into a mountain, and it's like, this was the cannon we were going to use to terraform the planet to make it livable. It is the best way when we want to grow crops. And it's like, if you could build something like that, then why not try to stop the inferno? And it's like, do you not think I haven't tried? And then he shoots him with an ice cannon that is like made specifically to freeze over anything, and it's like, why not try to... I love how there is absolutely no way you can touch this movie critically in some cases, because the movie is pointing them out on itself. It's like, why not use the cannon on the Inferno? And it's like the cannon isn't built to withstand that amount of heat. It will not work. It's like, okay, you're slapping away every nitpick I would have had with this movie in this fight, but...
It just leaves you speechless, pretty much like what happened with Danny right here.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is the two robots end up getting destroyed by one using burnish powers to create spikes through the giant robot, and the other one using ice powers to...
freeze the other one, pretty much.
Yeah, so they end up kind of looking like the two robots from Xenoblade Chronicles. And what ends up happening...
One or two?
Oh, the one for the Wii, is that no, it's not Xeno. I think it's the Xenoblade Chronicles. Nah, the first one, yeah, with the blonde kid.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Shulk.
Yeah, there we go, with Shulk. It's that one, because that one they live on a giant mech. like all of those grassy plains you see is a giant mech. And what ends up happening is they end up confronting Leo on foot. I mean, Cray on foot, and Leo, just so pissed off at what he did to his people, end up incinerating him. But yeah, what was a little weird with that scene is it shows him blasting him with face, and you only see his face in the flame. Did that not kind of look like that iconic Yowie face people kind of meme out, like Masochist Door?
Oh God,
It
from
kind
Mobile
of-
Senpai.
Yeah.
No, for that, that's less of that, and it's just more of a trope. Cause like, whenever this is how pretty much like whenever you get a shonen that you don't want to get too bloody with, they show whenever a character dies, if they ever get blasted by a beam or something that's strong, they always show like a faded image before gets pretty much washed out by the colors.
Yeah, but I love how they do that because they do the color washout and then it quickly just reforms back into a person. And it's like, do you really think you can burn me? And it's revealed that that Cray is a burnish.
Another twist.
Yeah, what a twist!
It's like the freaking trope from it's like that trope from freaking Robot Chicken where they go, it's like a movie with a lot of twists.
Yeah, when you say when you say have us for dinner, do you mean eat us? No, we're having a barbecue. What a twist!
Until like they get to like a ridiculous movie, he's like, yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but it's all like, yeah. Oh yeah, it was the Nightmare Before Christmas one was like, yeah, I think this is amazing. Yeah, it was okay. Or even the one was like, that was a really weak twist. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. When they were talking about the village.
Oh yeah.
But they have you end up having another twist go on where it's all like, that night I was the one that started the house fire because I was on my way home trying to fight the urge of the burnish, and I ended up shooting out a flame and it ended up hitting your house and you ran into my arms, and I just used this as a good example to kind of build myself into power.
Yep.
And and I put you in Burning Rescue because it had the highest mortality rate.
Yeah, it's like he was hoping he always took Gallo's like, I was hoping you would die, but you always kept coming back alive.
Oh, you have no idea how much of an annoyance that was, and like having to give him the medal and stuff, and try to act like a father figure to him, even though he couldn't stand this kid, and yeah, that's when it just turns into something like Dragon Ball Z, where they're now fighting him with like his crazy long hair and like this giant bulbing black arm covered in flames, and they're just going back and forth until he ends up knocking them both out and decides to use Leo as the core, because at first they thought they had destroyed the core to the machine because Eris turned against them and overpowered it. So he tries to start the machine back up. It's setting off the Promares again, and then Leo ends up giving Gallo a flame, so he gets saved after Cray lights him on fire.
Yeah.
So he goes back to try to rescue Leo, is able to again overpower the machine, but this time Leo is dying. So they do.
So he does what pretty much every fireman's trained to do. He performs CPR on Leo.
Yeah, by pushing down the flame first, and then he.
That's actually just regular chest compressions.
Yeah, chest compressions, but that should have worked. Or is a good thing. And then for all you Fujos out there, he then gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Yeah, because Gallo remembers when he saw that chick dying, that Leo tried to rekindle her fire by pretty much transferring some of his fire into her.
Yeah, so he ends up not swallowing the flame.
Oh God! Don't make this worse.
Putting it in, getting Leo's flame that he spat out for Gallo. He puts it in his mouth and then spits it back in his mouth, creating a burning flame. What? I would have just said one sentence and be it, but now you're just making me go into fanfic territory.
Dude, you're making this sound like a parody of like Two Girls, One Cup. Except now it's two guys in the fireball. Ooh, that's a good night right there.
Can we have an edited scene of that where it's that scene of him giving a mouth-to-mouth, transferring the flame back, but then you just hear like the calm piano music from Two Girls, One Cup?
Hold on. I got this for you.
Don't play it! Okay. So yeah, he ends up giving a mouth-to-mouth, which you know, for all you Fujo ladies, is flat out two boys kissing, and a lot of people lost their shit in this. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know, again, I was mainly laughing because I thought everyone else's reactions was funny, but you know, there were people laughing, there were people like, yeah, but they end up.
All right, Danny. So one more time.
Oh God, did they actually put the whole song in there?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's weird.
And the song was playing at a Chinese buffet once. So describe what was happening again.
No, I don't want to.
So what happened after the chest compressions that Gallo gave so passionately to Leo?
So Leo, before Gallo gets set on fire, Leo spurts out a tiny hot flame at Gallo. Then Gallo, after giving him saucy, pressing down his sweaty body against Leo, ends up getting Leo's flame of love, putting it in his mouth and spitting it back into Leo. God, that was so much more sensual. I'm gonna try to edit that into the first retelling because that was better. So I'm gonna try to edit that into it.
I'll send you the link.
What's it called? Fool Two. I love how it's just two girls sawing piano. Two girls, one cup piano.
Thus rekindling Leo's flame and bringing him, pretty much preventing him from completely turning into ash.
Is that a Swoozy video? Yeah, that's a Swoozy video. Oh.
Things you find when you're me.
Yeah, so basically, waking him back up. So, since my memory is so bad and there's a reason why we're doing this instead of Thunderbolt Fantasy, I actually don't remember what happens in this. Wait, now I do. So, while Leo is powering the machine before Gallo comes and saves him, he receives a whisper from the Promares. And when Leo wakes up, he says, I need you to help me light the biggest fire and completely burn this planet to the ground. And it turns out what all the Promares want to do is just burn. They want to see a fantastic burn. They want to, you know, basically climax to where they want to go back to sleep.
Yep. That's literally all it is. And that's pretty much where you get like one final battle between between Burn and Rescue and then Ice Force as well.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Because at that point, like Cray thinks that like Gallo's gone crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to burn the whole planet.
Yeah.
With this iconic cheese little screen. He's like you freaking moron! That's not gonna work.
Yeah. God, I love that. And then he just ends up punching him in the face and it's like, shut up, I'll be save the planet, will ya? But dude, I can't believe he almost forgot that. Yeah, the fight with Burning Rescue and Face Force, but you have freaking Ignis driving in his Charger, and like crashes into, God, what was his name again? Vulcan's like tank, and they end up crashing into each other, flying out of the windshield and like headbutting each other.
Yep.
And in typical freaking, typical Trigger fashion, it's revealed that actually,
Vulcan?
Yeah, Vulcan is a tiny baby man in a giant suit. Like, I'm talking about a little baby body with a big man-sized head.
Yeah.
And, yeah, what they end up doing is, with this time the willing help of the other Burnish, they end up reigniting the machine, but this time, instead of opening a gateway, they create this giant, massive flare that creates, this time, an actual Daiguren that did have eyes and mouth on the body, and it ends up creating a fire so epic that not only did it envelop the Earth, but it ended up enveloping
the whole solar system.
Yeah. And dude, the reason why the planet didn't blow up is because with the help of Gallo's burning firefighting soul and his such a strong will to save people, he ends up negating the overall destructive burning effect of this big cataclysmic event they're creating.
So pretty much so this is it, people. Out of all the anime protagonists we've seen, this is the man that's had the biggest plot armor yet in this observable universe.
Yep, flat out. Like he ends up like not only just burning the entire planet up and saving everyone caught in the inferno, a la Blue Exorcist. He also, the fire, as the Promares leave, actually end up re-energizing the planet to the point where it's greener than ever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they end up The Promare are gone. The Burnish don't have powers anymore, and like Freeze Force and Cray, they're all getting the proper, endings they deserve.
And now we're stuck with the Yaoi pairing of the season that we're not gonna hear the end of for probably years to come.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be another Voltron.
No! Well, at least in this one, at least you can tell they wanted to do this from the beginning and not be like, people think the characters are gay, fuck it, let's just make one of the characters gay, but not put any of the actual effort into making this a meaningful gay relationship or a powerful gay character.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god! And then that reminds me from freaking what was it called?
Legend of Korra, where they did that? But I liked when they did that.
No, not Legend of Korra. The other show we reviewed.
Fuck.
Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth. Genlock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why? What was in that one?
With Katsu and the Ukrainian lady who's
Katsu and Val. Or
there you
Valentina.
go. Valentina, yeah. When they saw her avatar, I was like, yeah, it was a man and a woman and then a man and a woman again. Like now I'm thinking, I might want to be a man again.
Yeah, and we will never tell you, which I am. But yeah, people ship the fuck out of them. But you know what? I kind of dig it. But I have a feeling, knowing Rooster Teeth, because Bumblebee is canon, motherfuckers, I'm mad about that. When we do Ruby, you will see for yourself why I'm mad about that. But you know what Bumblebee is, right?
I still gotta finish it.
Oh, Bumblebee is the ship name for Yang and Blake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's super forced. Like I'm telling you right now, when we eventually watch it, maybe we'll do it by the end of the year. It'll be around the time that the actual show comes out, the new season comes out.
Just be careful for Christmas, because that's when Lewis gets unpredictable. Right after Halloween, of course.
Yeah, I know. We're in Halloween. Oh shit. Is that what the next pick is gonna have to do? Oh no.
No.
Oh okay.
No, because Halloween month is just literally just the busiest month for me.
Oh okay. So we might not be able to do a show?
No, we can do a show. I'm just gonna be like dead.
Oh okay. So we might just have to figure out what we're gonna do from there. Because I wanted to do a manga, but I have a feeling that might be asking for too much.
What manga?
Well, we'll only be doing half of Drifting Classroom.
Ooh! I
Yeah.
know which one.
Alright, yeah, a very classic one. I wanted to do that for Halloween. I wanted to do that last year. Anyway, before we go on that, because I could definitely find some stuff. I did buy Perfect Blue on Blu-ray.
Here, I'm gonna put some banging OST so we can go, because I think we're ready to go into final thoughts. Cause
Oh, yeah.
Not only how the movie ends, just the solar system set ablaze and everything's back to normal.
Yeah. And it opens up with, OTP Yaoi ship. Which, again, I'm okay with, because the movie kind of went that way.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a reason he's so... Oh, no. I thought you were actually going to play an OST.
I am the unofficial OST.
No!
So, Danny, your thoughts?
I'm going to get you back so hard for this. I'm picking the next one. Anyway, yeah. Again,
Breathing noises.
as, I can always make noises like this.
Oh no.
So anyway, Promare is, if Chika's name is on it, I'm almost always gonna love it. And I do particularly love these guys and hope we don't have to wait another 4 to 3 years for something else. Because think of it, it's almost been a perfect 5 years, 6 years since Kill la Kill. Because Kill la Kill was in 2013, and then we got this by September. So it's kind of almost a year, just by like a month. 3, 4, 6 years, almost a month. I really want something else from these guys immediately, if not maybe a retelling of the show, but in a retelling of the anime, but in a show format where we get more lore and character development similar to what they did with the Little Witch Academia, which are just 2 movies that were then turned into a TV show, and that's when we got characters who annoyed me in the movies and the characters I genuinely loved in the TV show. God, the person's really going off in this. I love the characters. The characters that they do focus on, at least. I really love the characters. I like how Cray, even though he was a crazy anime villain, at least he was a crazy anime villain who meant well, sort of. But he was one of those people that you couldn't convince him not to do his job. He's like, once I have something in my head, I'm gonna do it. The giant mech robot fight was just super epic, and I cannot wait for this movie to come out on Blu-ray so I can keep watching that over and over again. Leo Fotia, I think, is one of my favorite anti-hero type characters of this year. And I mean, that's saying something because we do have Hayaki Maru and some other characters out there. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie, and I look forward to what Lewis is going to do. And if he can handle the revenge I'm about to get on him.
Oh god, he just puts on a video of like every line Steve Bloom has ever said. He's just gonna be me like in Shokugeki no Soma, just be like,
No!
Iku!
God, that would be a good idea, but I can't do that. Let me see something. Nah, you know what? If I can't find it, that's only gonna waste time. So let me just go ahead and.
You go for it, man. I'll talk regardless. You cannot break my unshakable will, my steadfast fortitude mind. But going back into pretty much for me, thinking about the movie and everything as well. I did not hear anything about this movie until Danny told me about the event in July, which is when we pretty much purchased our tickets for Crunchyroll Expo as well. So I was like, it's not that expensive. It's like $14. So I was like, yeah, I'm down.
And we'll at least get some of that money back before we go back.
What do you mean?
Like we had at least one payday before the event started.
Oh, yeah.
We came back from Crunchyroll.
Oh, that's true. And pretty much, yeah, like Danny says, like I too am also trying to recover from Crunchyroll Expo as well, just from all the time and resources spent, especially the money from the cosplay, which is only gonna get worse for Halloween. But I'm good. But yeah, movie-wise, everything expected from Trigger and everything, the colors, the scenes,
I can't do it.
the cinematography, the animation, and mind you, this is one of those animes pretty much where it was able to actually blend 3D and 2D animation very well. Kind of like how I think it was like Mystic Chronexia mentioned like with Land of the Lustrous and everything. Mm-hmm. It's one of those shows where it's like it's not at that level of Land of the Lustrous, but it just fits in so well with the themes and everything that just like you notice the 3D bits, but it just doesn't bother you just because there's always a lot going around when it comes to like the different shows and everything. And as well, and one of the things I gotta mention, if y'all did watch it in the theater, I hope y'all stay later on for like the roundtable discussion because holy Christ, what those directors kept talking about always made me laugh and everything as well. And again, everything that they talked about, I definitely saw in the film. I saw what the director wanted to like, the effect the director wanted when it came to portraying like what he wanted to do in the film. The idea of like turning fire from like this natural like thing that humanity is used to like something organic. Lewis wins.
Well, for some reason, I'm only getting things that are in your inbox.
Oh, it's because you're not in. You gotta go to home.
God damn it, I hate you.
You gotta go to home, sir.
You planned this all along, you dirty rat.
No, you just don't use YouTube enough.
Well, my YouTube doesn't work like this. I think it's a different type.
I've almost got the legs I'm looking for.
Okay, anyway. You can keep going.
How is this gonna break me?
Because it's so annoying.
That's for you, man.
Hey, I love this opening. This was one of the few I didn't skip.
And luckily another dance to it.
Okay, anyway, keep going.
But yeah, Promare is one of those movies again that like when I first started watching it, I was thinking like, God damn it, this is Fire Force in a nutshell. Not in a bad way, but just in the themes and everything as well.
Yeah.
But then as the movie progresses, I'm like, nah, this is not Fire Force anymore. This is Trigger's interpretation of Fire Force.
Yeah, and it's funny because the actual Fire Force did get overshadowed in hype because of the movie. And it's because it came out first, and frankly, stupid Americans don't really get... Speaking as an American, Yeah, stupid Americans don't really get the fact that like no one's ripping off anyone. This was in production way before the Fire Force anime was probably announced.
Exactly. And I pretty much like the things as well, is like especially in the world of isekai, there's always going to be common themes when it comes to like different explorations, things and everything.
Yeah, and for the one episode I've seen of Fire Force, this is drastically different. Fire Force is fucked up. This movie was messed up in ways, but it wasn't bad. Like
It's more lighthearted.
yeah, Fire Force had a child murderer who was lighting kids on fire.
Ooh, I will brace myself. But damn.
Oh, that was a flat out spoiler.
And then again, one of the things that again, really like the movie as well, and definitely hope, like pretty much like what Danny mentioned, I hope these guys get back together again to make something, well, probably knowing them, they're probably going to work in something, and it's probably going to take them a lot of times, especially because again, Danny always comes up with like really good films, like Red Line was something I was not disappointed in watching.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good film. Gurren Lagann, that was like one of like the first few animes I actually started exploring right outside of Attack on Titan when I joined the hype.
I only watched that after Kill la Kill. Like Kill la Kill was my second anime, and then like people are like, "Oh yeah, they make Gurren Lagann," and I'm like, "Oh well, I love Kill la Kill, and I watch Gurren Lagann." But I still like Kill la Kill more.
Dude, I watched Kill la Kill because of Gurren Lagann, because I was like, because that's when I had the Crunchyroll app. That's when I had the Crunchyroll app, and it was like I just saw how Crunchyroll was hyping up that anime a lot. Because it was like they were playing the OSTs like dun 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 dun. It's like by the makers of Gurren Lagann. I was like, ooh.
God, we gotta do that. Like seriously, we gotta do that. I'm just thinking of like one of the Beastmen themes they have, where it's literally just like a guitar riff and a guy like talking in a vocoder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what were you saying?
And it pretty much for
Let's see if I
me,
can find that.
like Danny mentions, like he was spot on when he says like the guys were all young and everything, and I'm glad because the creativity just burns that much farther for me as well.
Yeah.
That and they also use Steve Blum for the dub. Like, oh, kimochi ii. It's wunderbar.
Yeah. Which Steve Bloom is in the dub for Gurren Lagann, if anyone didn't know that. Did you not know that? He's the flamboyant character, the borderline gay character.
I know! I've only watched that show in subs!
Yeah, no. Well, if you watch it in dub, and then you're not gonna know it's him. Because it's such a different voice. It's the same voice he uses in Chobits, when he's the chef in Chobits, and it's like, wait, that's Steve Bloom?
Yeah. Oh, did I think ooh.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'm gonna end up like Hanako from freaking God, I'm forgetting all the shows we've done now. This is how tired I've been.
Hayako from what?
From that one show, Asobi Asobase.
Oh no!
When she pretty much, like that one girl who looks really Japanese looking.
Yeah.
When she kabedons Fujiwara's, it's like, oh, I'm opening up new avenues here.
All my friends are assholes. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I was like, watashi no friends got assholes. Ne?
So anything else?
That's it for me.
Oh, okay. This was the song I was looking for.
Hey.
This song's hype. God damn. The lead up for this is crazy. There you go.
Those vibes again.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for me, that's one of those things that I really liked about the Trigger as well. The choice and pretty much people who direct the music and everything as well.
Yeah. Here you go.
Alright then, so next week is my pick, right?
Yes. Please don't tell me that Mom anime ended.
Oh, we will do that, but not this week, sir. No, mainly because I'm not caught up with it. No, I have a video pretty much for this, so let me get it up here as well, because for me, it's been a while since we've done a slice of life.
Has it really though?
It had, well, for me at least.
Okay, because it's just felt like a couple of weeks since we did Grand Blue.
that's the alcohol speaking. That was like a couple months. That was like a month and a couple weeks.
No, really?
Yes. Mainly because remember we hadn't done the show in like 2 weeks.
That's true. Yeah, right. Fuck, sorry about that.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good. But for me, It's been like me. I'm the guy who pretty much like loves slice of life and everything. And this is one show that I feel like we're long overdue. And I don't know if we've done it already. Like if you've done it in the old one or anything.
Let's see.
But I know it's something we have not. We have not gone to, both of us as well.
Let's see. I will not rush you, and I will be surprised.
So here's the show that I'm going for you guys.
What? What the fuck is this? No, what is this? Screams like ugly bastard. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? No, what is this?
Hold on. Let the trailer play out, and if you still can't guess it, I'll tell you at the end.
Dang, it just says Thanos Monogatari. Wait a minute. Okay, can you pause it real quick? So, are these people redubbing it? Or is this actual audio from the show?
Actual audio from the show, it's just like the subs are just changed.
Okay, no, because if it's what I think it is, the girl sounds different.
Because this is from the live action.
Oh! I know it. Do you want me to say it now or just wait?
Wait till the end, just so you can finally see like what usually gives it away.
God, this is a very expensive stop motion too. Because that Thanos is like $80. Oh my god. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
That's an iconic scene. First of all, I want to see that live action movie now because that just sounds crazier than the anime. That sounds like it would be a lot better. Not a lot better, but a lot more. Okay, it just sounds like fun. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying the anime's bad. I'm just saying that sounds like it would be a good time watching the live action. I still want to see the fucking Nisekoi live action movie. That's one that people are like, when was that Nisekoi live action? I'm like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was one of those directors who literally just put wigs on actors. Well, this one, I've seen I've seen posters, and it's literally just, we got a big guy, but we're not making anyone look too much like the characters on the show.
Remember, in cinemas, 21st of February, 2016. So 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's like a year after the movie came, after the anime, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before people are like, what the fuck are they talking about? What the fuck are they talking about? We're talking about My Love Story, which this will in fact be a remake, because...
Ore Monogatari for all you weebs.
Yeah, Thanos Monogatari. I'm like, we're doing Monogatari? I don't recognize this one though. No, so yeah, we're doing My Love Story, which is... I think we did it. No, we did do it because I have the opening somewhere in my old laptop.
But I was not in that show.
No. This was literally fun. This was the 6th anime we've done in the old show, because literally we started in January, did one show, and then as soon as February came, we did every love show that we could get our hands on. So yes, we do have Snafu. But if you want to do Snafu again, that one would be okay because I still haven't seen the last 3 episodes.
Hey.
So.
Oh, dude, Snafu was a big ass project though.
Yeah. Well, what, 2 seasons?
3.
3.
Yeah, there's 3 seasons.
Well, 1 coming out, right?
No, 3 seasons are in total right now, as of right now.
No.
Yeah, there's 3 seasons.
Wait, did the 3rd season just come out? No,
I'm pretty sure it's 3 seasons.
Let me see. Snafu Teen. No, just let me put anime. No, it had a 3rd season announced though.
There you go. That's where I got it from. Yeah, 3 seasons announced as of so far.
Yeah, so it's 2. It's not that bad, but again, that's all up to you. That's up to me if I want to choose to bring it. But yeah,
dude, that show's a religion for me. I'm more than willing to go back for that show.
It also has my waifu voice actress voicing a trap in that show.
Kanahanazawa?
Huh? No, that's Daniel's. No.
There you go again.
God
Write
damn it.
yourself in the third
So
person.
anyway, no, it's the voice actor for Sugumi is Tosaka.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm like, still sounds hot even though it's a boy. Anyway, so yeah, My Love Story, we have done that before. I fucking love that anime, and that's a banger of an opening too. But you guys will hear it next week. And then I will have an anime movie ready for us since we are heading into October. By that time, well, it's gonna be depending what time we do it. Like, the last day of September is on Tuesday, so it really does depend on what day you're free next week when we'll do it. But yeah, we'll do a anime movie that I hear very good things about, and it is. Yes, I actually just said it earlier. I will say it when